Alright, so welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to show you the update of my NVGA website that I'm building. Basically, it's a copy of the original NVGA website. I'm trying to replicate the animation of it. If you haven't watched my previous video, I would highly recommend you to go check that out. And in this part, I'm going to show you the complete animation. It's not completely exactly equal to the animation that NVGA provides, but it almost copies it completely. So some of the key features I'll explain you in the end of the video, but now let's look at the code. Not the code, but the website. So this is how it starts, and we have to scroll to see the animation. All these scroll behavior. This is a different screen that comes out, and now we have text based animation. This took me almost a day just to replicate this because it was quite challenging, and GSAP does not provide there is a plugin, but it is a paid plugin for text based animations. And this was, yeah, this is it up until now. There are other heavy animations also in the original website. If you want, you can try it out. That's quite awesome. But this is the update up until now, and I'll show you the code also. I'll share some of the key features of this animation that I've done. So first thing, which I have followed, because I saw there was animation code which was getting a lot longer than expected. So one of the best approach while creating these kind of animations is to separate your animation based files from your original components. What I mean by that is, if you see in my base app component, there are all the components which are being shown. This is the header, the hero section. Wait, I'll separate both of them. Yeah, so first is the header and the hero component, and the other sections also, image section, which you see this one. This is separated, and then text reveal, the rewards, all of them are there. So in order for you to make your component more uh, readable, what you should do is different make different components based on the structure that you are creating, and separate the animation based components from your original component that you're going to show. For example, in the header, if I go, the header has a basic animation of fade out or fade in, whatever it comes into the screen. I don't know why it kind of shifts. I need to restart, maybe then it, yeah. So uh, in the navigation bar, the basic fade animation is there. In order for you to apply that animation here, what I have done is I have created a different file in the utils folder named hero section, not any, wait, in the hero only, I guess I have header. Oh no, I haven't added anything. I mean, there's only one line of code, so I haven't added a specific file for this. But for other sections, I have added another file. Like here, if you see, this was getting a lot longer than a normal code. So in order for us to avoid this much length in the main component, what we do is we separate it from the main component, which is hero. So there's only one line of code that runs the animation inside the use GSAP hook, and the rest is the basic code. In the hero animation, if you haven't checked, I have explained this code in my previous video. I don't think we have to use this at the moment, but in future maybe we'll do. Mm, so this component has been separated from the main section. I'll provide you the code in the description. You can check it out. Next, we have the image section, and here we have one of the important thing that I would tell you, one of the key features actually. So in the image section, we have four images, no, five images, all these five, and they are not just fade in or fade out animation, or a single based animation like this in the navigation bar. There's only single animation, which is fade in animation. And in the hero section we have this your data runs the world starting and all these. They have also a single or at least double animation that does not what to say takes much of your screen width or something like that. But if you see the main image of this component, what you realize is they are not just single animations. What happens first, oh, I'll check this why this is happening. When we refresh it, the first animation that image uh, is having is it kinds of the y transition of it occurs, and it is quite random. It's not at first you saw that it was coming from first to the last, but if you refresh it again, you'll see that it comes randomly. And when I start scrolling, what happens is all of them kind of staggers individually to the center of the screen. I have added 70% of the screen so as to uplift it to 70% of the screen width. And the next animation is it kind of uh, scales down to 0.25 of the actual width, and the background also changes. So what is happening, there are multiple happening animations happening in this images. So basically in the image component image section there are multiple animations happening within this all images. It is generally what I experienced while building this. It is highly recommended that if you have multiple animations happening in your component, better to keep it absolute positioning, because you cannot fix the or change the positions of all the component based on the screen sizes, right? And it's quite difficult to like transition from one animation to another animation of a single component if it is not absolute positioned, because it kind of takes the what to say wait image section animation. It takes, like suppose we are changing the animation of image container, and we have to change it based on scroll events. So let's check the scroll events. For example, in this animation which we are doing, what we are doing is while scrolling we kind of uplift it and stagger. Yeah, that upliftment to individual component image gets uplifted. That animation is happening through this one. So as you can see on scroll effect, what happens is it triggers the animation gets triggered based on this image container. And if it is not absolute position now, what happens is it kind of changes its original position based on the dom events. As a result, it's quite difficult to predict what is the actual position for the next animation to occur. In or it is quite like challenging, and I might not be clear, but you can understand it this way, that it's a better approach to use the absolute position if you have multiple animations happening in the single component. So for example, this image container is triggering the animation, and it is absolute positioned, then it will be quite easier for me to apply the next animation based on the positions that has uh, mm, it has come to. So this was the stagger based animation which is happening right now. This one, it kind of uplifts one by one, and the next animation is kind of it scales down. This one, from scale 1 to scale 0.25, and when it should happen at the start of center to center. And I haven't applied 50% because it was kind of jumping here and there, I don't know why. So I took 49.9. And then it should end at when the center of the component, which is the image container, extends 1500 pixels, then it should end the animation. This particular animation scale down, and it should be pinned to the center of the position, so it kind of scales down. And the background also changes. Here it is, there's one important thing that I would like to explain you guys is that the animation that is occurring at the moment, it's not based on the position of the um, what do we say, suppose we are not suppose actually we are scrolling it down, but the animation that is happening is the image are getting scaled down, but we cannot check how, I mean, the main animation that is happening is based on this size of this images. So currently if we check, what I'm doing is I checked, and there is a function on update which gives a callback function which has self. It determines the progress of the animation. At GSAP itself provide, you have to use it inside the scroll trigger. And it what I did was I checked if the scaled which happened is less than or equal to zero point 0.7. If it is there, then the background change should be true. It is a variable that I applied here. Initially I kept it false. As soon as it happens, then the background will be changed to a white color, which is happening at the moment here, and else change it to black. That's all it does. So instead of scrolling and checking whether animation happens, we are checking it based on the scale of the images. And then we have this a different whole different background. It comes from 300 vw of left to, and gets to 300 vw of right. I can show you this one. Yep. Oh sorry, it comes from 700 actually because the width is also that much, and it comes from 700 vw. You can reduce it based on your end. I thought this much would be better. Instead of increasing it, the animation length, I just increased the width of the entire stripes that were coming, so that it will take longer to pass out, and it will be pinned to the screen. And as soon as it updates, the background should change back to black color. So at the moment it is black, then it got changed to white, and as the progress completes, it's more than 0.24 the progress, it will again return to black. Next we have the animation of the text. This is I'll explain you this how I have thought about it. I'll show you the NVG8 website. It's way beyond my expectations. This is quite great animation. This is the actual animation. I could not copy this one. I'll try it again sometime. I think they have used some other tech stack also. This is the actual screen that I have tried to copy, and this is the animation. See how beautiful it is. In fact, their animation is more consistent than mine. If you check my animation, wait, it's not that consistent as much as the NVG8 website's animation is. Yeah. So, huh. Yeah, I think I've copied it quite well, to be honest. Okay. So, I'll show you how I thought about this. First, what in any text based animation, what you have to do is separate all the words, right? So, what I did was I took a lot of help of ChatGPT in this, because in the GSAP they have a paid plugin that helps you to do the text based animation, but it's paid. So uh, you have to create your own if you are trying to use it for free. I mean, I am using it some different my own method to do it. So what I did was, wait, text reveal. So first para is this one. Wait. Okay, okay. It kind of lags. Yeah. Okay. So there are different words, as you can see, and what I did was I separated all of the words into individual I mean span, right? And I kind of mapped them out. I'll tell you why I've used this your data. You don't need this one actually. We are directly using it inside the animation to change this, right? And this also not needed. Okay, so I separated all the words, and then in the animation you can check, I use GSAP utility function that creates an array kind of, and I selected all the words with the class name of word. I can show you here all the word has the class name of word. So I select here actually. This is a separate first index word that I'm using, and I've selected all the words. And this first animation I was trying out, it's not needed now. And then after that I created a timeline for text, and the animation was this only, like from center of the screen to 60% of the viewport, a bit downward, and then it will be started. So the base animation is this. Think about it this way. Wait, I'll show you. First what happens is, first there's a fade out and a fade in animation. The animation comes in, and the fade in animation is something like all the elements. Don't think of this one for now, just think of individual blocks that are coming out. All the words can be considered as a block in span, which I showed you at the moment, and they have a background color of gray with rounded border, as in Tailwind we say rounded full, right? And they kind of comes out, and they come out. So simply what I did was, initially I kept opacity of 0 and background color of 191919, this color, which is this. And the color was transparent. It means the word were not showing up at the moment. And the next moment what I did was, the opacity I did it to 1. It means it's visible now. And I added keyframes. Why? Because I have two animations happening. First is the background color, and the next is the text color. But I want a difference, like the animation there should be a lag between them. Why? Because you see, first what occurs is the this background, and as soon as it gets removed, the text animation comes out. But they if I use it both of them in from 2, they will happen simultaneously. I don't want it simultaneously. Instead I want a lag between them. First what I want is, I want the background color to happen, and then as soon as it gets out, I want the color to pop up. And I want it in the from to only. If I do another block of from to here, what will happen is, there will be a complete from transparent background to all these rounded corner background, and then all of them will be removed, then text will start occurring. I don't want that, right? Instead I want, as soon as one of the block gets background color removed, I want the text to be revealed. So that's why I did it in the single from to block, and used keyframe to have some difference between background color and the text color. So it started happening. One thing now, there are all the blocks, but I want the first and second block, kind of this one, to have a background of yellow and border radius of something like 5 or 10 pixel. So what I did was, I actually looped through all the elements while they are looping out. What GSAP provides, I chat gpt it, and I found out that GSAP provides it as a callback function, where you can, if you are using an array, to be very specific, it provides a callback function where you have the index and the target value, and you can check whether the index is first, second, or third, whatever it is, and place your desired css accordingly. What I did was, if I checked whether the first value is 1 or not. If it is, then let the color be this yellow color, which is at the moment, you can see this one. uh, Wait, sorry, you can see this FBC601, FBC601. It's not actually, it's a bit different. I don't know why both are showing up different, but that's the original color if I have used. And if the I index value is 59, which is this one. Actually, I calculated it. It should be red. Else, all of the other things, it should be transparent. Similarly, for padding, I changed the padding. If you see all the other elements, their padding is rounded full, but this one has the padding of like 5 or 10 pixel. I don't know. Yeah, 5 pixel, and top padding is 0. And yeah, that's it. And the color also, the it has been changed, since all the other has white color, but this is also has white only. Yeah, but this one has the black color. So I checked whether the element is at first position or not. And then the duration is 0.5. And stagger, I have placed it to 0.03, as all the elements should not occur simultaneously, rather it should like take some time and then occur. After this, we have a simple animation, like it's a scroll based simple animation. And then this points reveal, I used text inner HTML to change it. This is the simple CSS. And inside the word, initially not the word, sorry, this is the text animation. Wait, the numbers one, rewards, yeah. Inside this, sign up now 0, I used this number class with inner HTML to change the inner HTML in the animation, which is reward section. So here you can see, initially it was inner HTML of 0. And in the scroll trigger, I provided the inner HTML to reach to 100 with a duration of 3 seconds. And yeah, this chat GPT helped a lot to change it. And yeah, that's how I changed this animation. And this is also a small circular button that comes out inside. If you check the NVG8 website, their website is much better. It's not possible to cover all of this in 1 week. Like 1 week time is truly not enough. And especially this part, actually I think they have used WebGL or something. Definitely use, it's not possible to do it using directly GSAP, all these kind of animations. If you want to follow, you can follow up that code. One thing to note, that it is not responsive yet. I'll make it responsive and then update the code, so you can check that out also. For now, for the time being, if you want to see the code for the animation part, you can definitely check that out.